get to the punching already.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another Balrog's Boxer Basics video. This is Ronalo. By now you should probably know who I am if you've watched this series before. If not, hi, I'm Ronalo. What's up? So, today we're gonna pick on Alex. He's pretty fun to pick on. He has no reversal, he has no 3-frame, and he's a charge character. So, all three of those things just make it very fun to bully him. So basically what we're going to cover today is V-Trigger 2. It's also called No Mercy. It gives you a command grab called B3 where he headbutts them, and it makes some weird, inexplicable alien whooshing sound every time he does it, like something out of, like, I don't know. It sounds almost like something out of the like the $1 Million Man to me. So it's a pretty fun, V-trigger just to mess around with mostly. In a competitive scene, I wouldn't say it's the best, but it definitely still has its uses against really, really respectful players. It can force them to open up, so that's good. Pretty much reasons you want to use this over V-Trigger 1. I covered in my previous video a little bit. There's 3 criteria. And I would say 2 out of 3 need to be met for you to want to have any motivation to use this against the character. Those 3 criteria are: 1, they have to not have a 3-frame, so they have to be a 4-frame character. 2, they have to be a charge character because that forces them, into crouching more often, so they're less likely to jump. And then 3, they have to. Gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the 3rd one already. They have to not have an EXDP. There you go. They have to not have a 1-frame reversal. So basically, it makes it harder for them to break the command grab. It makes them have to force to guess. So generally, you don't want to do this against anybody with an EXDP. You can do that though, however, to bait it out, and I'll go into that. But mostly, you just want to use the V-Trigger 2 for people who meet 2 of those 3 criteria. So Alex, he meets all 3, so he's like, V-Trigger 2 is great against him. Fang, 4-frame, charge character, very heavy charge character, way heavier than Alex, so he's perfect for V-Trigger 2. V-Trigger 2 will also beat out his EX Swivel, so I would say V-Trigger 2 has its good uses against Fang. However, if they're zoners, V-Trigger 2 can kind of be a little more rough to use against them. If you're never going to ever get in their face, that might be a problem. However, there's lots of ways you can close the gap against characters like Fang and Dhalsim and stuff like that. So, Dhalsim's another good pick. He has a 3-frame, but he has no reversal. He isn't a charge character, so unfortunately, he only meets one of those 3 criteria. But he's very slow in general and very floaty, and he can't deal with pressure, so it can be useful against him too. I would say I prefer V-Trigger 1 against him though, just because V-Trigger 1 allows you to close the gap a lot better with, cancels and stuff. So yeah, basically whenever you're thinking, should I use V-Trigger 2 against this matchup, just ask yourself, that question. Try to fit it into those 3 criteria. 1, are they a charge character? 2, do they have a 3-frame? And 3, do they have an EXDP? If the answer to the first one is a yes, and then the second 2 are no's, then you're golden. If 2 out of 3, then you still pretty useful. And so this does 180 damage and 350 stun. So the stun obviously is what you do this for. It actually scales pretty. Oh, whoops! I had him set to block. So this thing almost completely scales like a dream with its stun. Like, the stun doesn't get scaled badly by using it because you're only using 1 or 2 hits into it. Oh, whoops. Counter hits. Well, I can use this to show an example. So even on that still does 490 stun, so it doesn't scale too bad, Try that again. So off of a light, that'll do 454 stun. or it'll do 399. So it basically adds 65 more stun to it if you, you know, follow up after a counter hit combo, rather than just doing it raw from a conversion. So the stun is pretty, you know, it speaks for itself. It's pretty darn good. If you just get 2 of these resets, and you know, they're basically screwed if you guess right twice. They're stunned, and because you did such few hits to stun them, you can rack up some good damage on the follow-up. To, you know, another thing too that's good is you can actually do 2 light kick screw smashes after they're stunned with this. So if I do this, I can actually sneak 2 of those in before they're standing. So that's just, you know, optimal meter gain is what that's for. So you gain a little EX meter each screw smash you whiff. So if you're not familiar with that, they're not, you know, the people aren't like doing a form of teabag, they're not taunting or anything. That's legitimately what you want to do to build meter every time someone gets stunned. So basically, if you stun somebody with that, then you want to do the screw smashes, you know, and then you can build up enough meter. Sometimes it's enough to top off to critical art. And from there, we're going to kind of cover some ways to transition to V-Trigger 2. Very similar to V-Trigger 1, there's really only one difference, and that's that you can't cancel into it from specials. So you can't cancel it into tap, you can't cancel it from dash straight, can't cancel it from screw smash, and you can't cancel it from dash low. Unfortunately, those don't work. If they did, it would be like pretty godlike, you know, with pressure. However, they did patch it, and I'm very happy they did. They made it a lot more useful. You can do it after V-skill punch and V-skill kick, so you are now able to do the thing, you know, with V-Trigger 1 as well, where you can top it off with a V-skill and get in with pressure. So I can do something like, alright, he's still set to stun. Whoops. I can do something like this. Or I can do something like this. Oh, whoops. That offers way too much time. Do something like that. That was because it was on counter hit though, so let me try it without counter hit. Yeah, you can get a micro walk into that if you really want. It doesn't do a whole lot of stun because of the scaling, so you're better off fishing for a reset. So this thing has a 7-frame startup. That's very important to know. Most conventional, like Zangief's command grab, they have 5-frame startup. So having 7-frame startup kind of sucks. It doesn't give him a whole lot to do. On top of that, the range is not very good. Another thing to note, you can whiff Balrog's command grab up to 3 times. Technically 4, but it wastes your meter by the time you get to the 4th one. So you can only use it twice though if it actually connects. It wastes more meter to connect than it does to whiff. So basically with V-Trigger 2 you want to use a little different tactics to transition into it than you would V-Trigger 1. And these tactics are basically ones that land you right around that kind of sweet spot, +5, +6 range. Those are the best for V-Trigger 2. And if they're a 4-frame character, then you want to be in, you can be as low as +4. +3. You can be as low as +3 for 4-framers because this is 7-frame startup. I believe it prioritizes over jabs. Let me just test this here. Let's see, what's something that leaves me? Okay, I got it. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. So I'm just gonna record him doing his 4-frame jab. Yeah, so that beats him out. If you look at the time fast enough, I'm +5 when I'm in his face. Oh, that is +5, my bad. Okay, so that's +3. Oh wait, I didn't even set it. My bad. No, oh wait, I did set it. You know, my math is super off. +3 is what I was thinking, not +4. So +3 is what you want against 4 framers. +4 or higher is what you want against 3 framers. If it's +4, that is an absolute frame kill. Perfectly, it will beat out 3 frames. However, they can EXDP. So again, it's one of those things it's best if you don't have people who can EXDP. The only way they can get out of it is by jumping or backdashing. So it kind of forces them to guess. And if they jump or backdash, there's other things you can do, and we'll go into that. So one thing that you can do on block. You can do that if you micro walk. Now let's set him to. Okay, that was really bad. Okay. So, if I can time this right, it is manually timing. You can do that. It beats out 3 frame and 4 frame jabs, so it's pretty nice. Of course, it's obviously much easier to do on 4 frame. You can do that as well. That leaves you. So that will actually be like a straight up frame trap against both 4 frames and 3 frames, I believe. I might have to try that on. I might have to try that on 3 frames, honestly. But yeah, that basically is just a straight up. And you can also do crushing hard punch against 4 framers. It leaves you at +4. So you can do that against 3 framers. And this, by the way, isn't real. Doing heavy punch straight into B3, that actually leaves you at +2, so that leaves a 5 frame gap. So even 4 framers can mash out of it. However, after heavy punch straight, you can do grab instead, so that if they jump it or try to mash, you'll beat them out. Because this is actually a frame trap on 3 framers. So that's something to note. You can also do something like standing medium punch to beat out 3 frames, or standing medium kick, crouching medium punch to beat out 4 framers. If they try mashing after heavy punch straight, you can do just a 4 frame. You can do a tick throw into that. So this is scary against 4 framers because anything that leaves you +3 is a frame trap. So I can do this. If I can do it right. Oh wait, that's +2. What am I thinking? This, sorry. Oh wait, I guess I can't because it knocks back. I'm being stupid. You can do that against 4 framers. So those are actually real frame traps. Specifically against 4 framers. Against 3 framers, you can't do that. It's kind of fake, so you're better off just doing like a real tick throw against them. And then if they're respectful enough, you want to do the command grab. So this is another one you want to do. I don't think you can do it after that one. Yeah, that leaves you at +2. This will leave you at +4. So say you're doing, like your high-low mix-up, then you can do that. You can do that. Oh, I messed that up. I know there's a way to do that. Oh, you have to delay it. That's what I'm doing. Wrong. Okay. So, yeah, you have to manually time it after those ones, but basically, yeah, because it's 7 frames, you have to basically do it off of Oki or against 4-framers for frame traps. You can also do it after meaties for 3-framers. Because nothing that Balrog has, unfortunately, is +4 unless he V-trigger cancels or he meaties. So that's just kind of the way it works. That's why it's very useful to have a 4-frame to use it against for that reason. And you can take lots of advantage for that. That leaves you at +3. So against a 3-framer, or sorry, against a 4-framer, that is actually a frame trap as well. So basically, something you never would have thought you would have done with V-Trigger 1, you're going to be doing a lot with V-Trigger 2, is canceling a light into V-Trigger cancel to convert into it. Because that leaves you at the perfect frame kill to be able to beat them out with a frame trap. So that's kind of what you want to do. And then again, you can either do that or you can do standing medium kick. At that distance, yeah, you can do anything. But you can do something like that. Now, again, against 4-framers for Oki, that will work. Against 3-framers, it will not. So you have to either use EX low or crouch hard kick if you want to get that after F dash. So, oh, whoops. So that will work against 3-framers. It is actually like straight up. It leaves you at +5, I think. So there's a 2-frame gap there. While this leaves you. Yeah, that leaves you at +3, so that's why. So just remember that, +3 for 4-framers, +4 for 3-framers. Think of it kind of the opposite of what they are, you know. A 4-framer is not a 3-framer, so you're +3 on them. A 3-framer is not a 4-framer, so you're +4 on them. If you can remember that, it's kind of a weird, you know, kind of a weird mnemonic device, but it can work. So yeah, basically, we got that covered. Basically, you can do standing hard kick mix-ups against, in any situation where you're +6 or +7 for 3-framers, you can do standing hard kick as a mix-up. So you can either do B3 or you can do standing hard kick. That will crush counter them if they backdash. It'll crush counter them if, I don't know if it crush counters if they jump. I think it does. We'll have to test that, but basically that's what you can do. You can also do normal throws, you know, in those situations as well. Normal throw is a 5-frame, so you have to kind of delay it manually if you want to do it that way. For 4-framers, you only have to be +5 to do standing hard kick for mix-ups. The better one in most cases is crouch hard punch. You only have to be +5 for 3-framers, and you have to be +4 for 4-framers, or you can be +4 for 4-framers. So basically, any situation where you're in +4, you can get that. And +5, you know, you can do the standing hard kick. So I can do something like this. Oops. I can do that, or I can do this. Oh, whoops. I can do something like that. And if you're close enough, conversions after this. I cover this in my bread and butters video a little bit, so you can always look there for it. But basically, the main things, you can cancel everything up close that can cancel normally, you know, into specials. You can cancel that into B3, but from combos, the only things that you can really cancel into are medium kick. There are exceptions with meaties. You can actually cancel into crouch hard punch as well. So like, let me show you one right now. So if he quick rises, and then I can do that. And that's a really good stun, really good, you know, pretty good reset. So that's basically what you can do for that. Anytime you meaty, you know, counter hit V-skill overhead, you're +8, so you can cancel into that. Other ones include, if you really want, can do that. It still does pretty decent stun. It's not a ton, but it's, you know, it's upfront stun, as opposed to doing something like this. That does about the same stun, you know, with the EX, and then you're not wasting your V-trigger, and then you can go up and do a V-trigger or a mix-up. So that's preferable in those situations. Anyway, do something like this. Oh, I just want to do that. Oh, that's not right. Did they nerf that? Wait a minute. Okay. Then why can't I get that? Confused. I'm like right up in his face. I know I could do it. I don't know. Is it Alex? Is it because they did a 4-frame? If he did a 3-frame, would I be closer? I don't know. I was almost positive against 3-framers though that I can do that if they mash. I've done it before, so I don't know why. Yeah, it's like it doesn't let me do it after Oki for some reason. That is strange. Let me try this. Back recovery. They had to have patched that. Did they do a secret patch or something that I'm not aware of? Okay. So, might have to look more into that. It seems like maybe standing medium kick into standing medium kick on counter hit now is no longer a thing on Oki. Maybe they nerfed it. You can still do it when they're standing. It's just, I guess, on Oki for some reason it pulls him back. That might be an Alex thing. Might be worth researching. Probably gonna have to talk with the Balrog Discord on that one. Yeah, that's a surprise. This last patch might have actually done something bad to Balrog. Who would have guessed? So, in any case, let's go into reasons why you'd want to mix it up with normal throws. So this is like the grappler's dirtiest trick they have under their sleeve. Is setting them to jump. And then guard. So if I'm like, you know, against a 4-framer, if I'm like doing this, then, you know, they'll jump. Then I can do something crazy like that. Like, which side am I going to be on? So I can do something like this. And, you know, just like that, if they're in the corner, I can make an ambiguous cross-up. Although you have to kind of... You know, you can do stuff like that to mix them up. In fact, I think if you can actually mediate right... Okay. Yeah, but it's still not letting me do that. Okay. Now I have to know. Counter hit. Okay, that still works. If they're crouching, it might actually be more likely to work. Let me experiment with this. Okay. We might still have this. It might just have to be that they're crouching. So let me try this again. No, that still works. But let me try and wake up if they're crouching, because I know the hitbox is a little bit different. Come on, Capcom, please. Don't do this to me when I'm recording video. Maybe if I mash it as hard as humanly possible. Yeah, okay, that worked. Okay. So now... Okay, so if we do it like that... Oh, wait. Back recovery. Okay. So that still works if they're crouching, but it looks like it might not work if they're standing. Maybe that's an Alex thing? I have to test that. So let's put a pin in that. Don't necessarily write off that standing medium kick and a standing medium kick on Oki is good. That might be something that we can experiment later. Standing light punch and a standing medium, or sorry, crouching light punch and a standing medium kick might still work. Jeez, that's strange. Okay, so yeah, basically normal throws. You basically would do substitute any command grab for a normal throw, and then they're in a neutral jump, and you can quickly jab them with that. Now, if we set the guard recovery, or wait, guard recovery? Yeah, guard recovery. If we set guard recovery to backdash. Okay. Reversal backdashes are a thing. Wait, no, that's not. Wait, yeah, that is what we were doing. Okay. So if I'm doing this, then he can punish me if he does that in the corner. He can punish me in a lot of places, but corner is much easier. So in the corner, you can do something like that, I think. I don't know if they can punish that. Let me check something. Okay, that leaves me at +3. So against a 4-framer, I can do this in the corner. That will beat out any attempt they have to mash. Against a 3-framer, then you'll just have to go into something like that, or you can do another throw. Basically, that puts you at +3 if you catch the backdash. Also, you can do backdash resets. So you can do something like this. That leaves me at +8. So you can do let's see. I want to say I can meaty that a little bit, but probably not enough. So yeah, I didn't think so. I can meaty that, I'm just not close enough. So one thing you can do to stop people if you're afraid they're going to jump from both of these, standing medium punch is a good substitute for throw as a frame trap, because standing medium punch also comes out in 5 frames. So in a +3 situation, you're leaving no gap for them to backdash or to jump. So that will catch both of them and keep them grounded. So I can do something like this, and that might catch them off guard just enough to be able to micro walk into that. Or you can do something like that. Wait, no, maybe you can't do that. Yeah, forget that. You can't do that. But yeah, so you can basically practice doing that off of backdashes on block and off of neutral jumps, and just kind of experiment with what you can do doing this, because this still forces them to either jump or backdash or tech if they're thinking you're going to just do a regular throw. So that just adds one more thing into the spin to win category. they're basically now gambling on like a 1 in 4 chance rather than a 1 in 3 chance of winning. So that's kind of what regular throws do, and that's why I personally think it's kind of stupid with command grab characters, but that's just me. That's my own worldview there. So yeah, that's pretty much a crash course in V-Trigger 2. I still use it, like I said, against characters like Alex, or but against those characters, they're usually not really that good in general, so V-Trigger 1 can be pretty nice. Anyway, but yeah, again, if they meet 2 of those 3 criteria, I mean, Bison, he's a charge character, but he has a 3 frame, so. Guile, however, is a charge character, and he has a 4 frame. He has a reversal, but you'd be surprised, since some Guiles play very, very defensively. V-Trigger 2 actually works very well on them. So those are just examples. Urian is another example. He's a charge character. He has a 4 frame. He's got an EXDP, but it can be baited out with light punches, so you can do that as like... What are you doing there, Alex? Okay. He can, get option selected into baiting out his EXDPs, so it works really well for Urian. Like, V-Trigger 2 is actually pretty useful against him. I personally prefer V-Trigger 1 against Urian, so because they're not really that defensive. I mean, that might be a shocker to people, but I've never really seen a Urian who blocks for more than like 3 seconds. Not trying to throw shade in any Urian player's way. I think Urian's a cool character. In another life, I probably would have mained him. I just never got around to it, and he didn't look appealing to me character-wise, so I never really picked him up back when he first came out. But seeing his style, he's a charge character, he's very offensive like Balrog, I probably would have liked playing him. But I digress. So that's pretty much all I wanted to cover on V-Trigger 2. It was a little shorter than V-Trigger 1, but then so is the V-Trigger itself is a pretty short V-Trigger. You pop it, you use it once or twice, it's over. You get it again, the next half of the round sometimes. So that basically covers this video. Be sure to let me know if there's anything else you want me to cover. Like and subscribe if you haven't done that. If you actually want to. I'm not saying do it because I want likes and subscriptions or whatever. I'm saying do it because then I know that I need to keep pushing more of these out for people, that people are actually benefiting from it. So be sure to do that if you haven't already, and if you like what you see. That's about all I got for this video. Thanks guys for watching, and as always, keep boxing. I need to come out with a better sign out there, but probably never. But see you guys later.